Hey, this is Tyr Walker, and this is the Step Over Podcast.
So we're chatting with one of the rising stars of the CPL, one of the brightest rising stars from the 613. We're chatting, of course, with the pride of Russell, Ontario, Tyr Walker. Tyr, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we're into mid-August now at the time that we're chatting. How's your summer been so far? Like, have you had a chance to enjoy some time away from the pitch?
I mean, it's been pretty go with soccer. Haven't had many days off, but yeah, so I'm living at home, so I've been able to just spend time with family. So that's one of the perks of being from Ottawa, playing in Ottawa. So
Like, are your parents happy to to still have you at home?
yeah, my mom loves it. She's at every game. Because I went to university at Acadia, my
Yeah,
first year at university, so I was away from home, and she hated it. Like she liked the fact that, I was at university and like that experience, but she loves having me back. Yeah.
right on. How's the home cooking?
It's amazing. That's another thing. Like my teammates, like they'll have stories. They'll be like Gabby will be like, "Oh, I really don't feel like cooking," and like he'll have like some struggle meal of like noodles and chicken, and then I'm like telling about my home cooked meal, so it's been nice.
So if you have like a summer free day, just all to yourself, what's a great day off look like for you? Like, are you going somewhere for a day trip? Are you heading to the beach or seeing a movie? Like, what's a good day for Tier Walker look like?
So I'll tell you one of my off days what we did. Um, all of my not all. So it was me, Luke, Abu Sako, Gabby Antinoro, one of my friends from Ottawa. He's a keeper at Carleton University, Roberto. We went to Calypso for the day.
Nice.
So yeah, we got to see that. I used to work at Calypso actually as a lifeguard. So
Oh, no
I was
way.
like, yeah, we have to do this ride, we have to do this ride. So it was fun.
Okay. Do you recommend lifeguarding at Calypso as like a good summer job?
Yeah, yeah, no, because it is long days in the sun. Like you're there probably like 10 hours a day and just cooking. So you could get a nice tan if you're looking for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of work just sitting
Right
in the
on.
sun.
Right on. Did you get a chance to watch any of the Olympics?
I did, yeah. That was cool.
Um,
I find it's not the same because like my dad's Jamaican, so having Usain Bolt competing in there and Jamaica doing
mm,
really well was always a big thing for us. But now, the States won this year, so not as into it.
that's fair. Like what sports did you find yourself getting most into?
Um, Track, the basketball, like the U.S. basketball
Oh
team, I
yeah.
was watching that. They were crazy. It's like an all-star game, but like for real, you know? So that
Like, were
was
you worried
good.
in the Serbia game there? I was kind of cheering for
Ah,
Serbia, but
they had it for sure. What else was I watching? There was a lot of diving. Like every time I tune in, like there'd always be like a diving event. So I watched a lot of that. That was pretty entertaining.
so I watched a lot of diving too. Do you ever find yourself being a judge yourself and then finding out that like the actual judges like were like had a totally different opinion than what you had? Because I thought like most of them they're all amazing, but then
Yeah.
they would get like a three or like a 3 out of 10 or like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, there's somewhere I'd look and I'm like, damn, that was really good. And then they'd get like last place. It was the same for I watched breakdancing
Right?
and one of them I was like, yo, this guy's kind of cooking. And then he lost. So
Didn't
I
care
don't
for
know
it.
how that's judged or whatever, but yeah, that caught me off guard.
Right on. Okay. So a question that I ask all of my guests is just simply, how did you first get into soccer?
Get into soccer. So both my parents are very athletic. My dad played basketball and he was a bodybuilder as well. And my mom's Brazilian, so that's where the soccer lane came from. So I was always very active as a kid. My brother grew up playing soccer as well. He's a year older than me. So before I was like old enough to actually play in a league, I just like kicked the ball on the side at the side of his practices, and like I just love the sport. So I just gravitated towards it and never looked back.
So if your dad's a former bodybuilder and you're living at home, like do you have a pretty good home gym to take advantage of?
Yeah, we actually built it during COVID.
No way.
Yeah, we had a lot of time at home, so we built it in the basement, and it's pretty solid.
Nice. Yeah, so growing up, what club did you play with?
So in Ottawa, I grew up playing for Futuro, St. Anthony's Futuro, with under Sanjeev Parmar, and yeah, I would join them at U11, and up until university, I was with them.
Okay. Did you have like a favorite player growing up or like a favorite team when you were younger or now?
Uh, Favorite player, Neymar,
Okay.
because my mom's Brazilian, so every time he's on, he's like, "Oh my God, Neymar!" So that was, um, yeah, definitely Neymar, and he's just so entertaining to watch. Um, in my book, he's the best player ever.
The best player
Obviously,
ever.
obviously, Messi and Ronaldo, but Neymar, no injuries. If he would have stayed at Barca, maybe I put him, I put him as the GOAT.
That's a pretty hot take. Um, when you weren't in school or playing soccer, what would you be most likely to be doing growing up?
Let's see. Um, well, it wasn't just soccer. So I grew up playing every single sport. My parents wanted me to try everything. So I played every single possible sport in high school. Played um volleyball. My favorite like off sport was probably badminton.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I really like badminton. Like I like racket sports.
Have you
Other than
gotten into
that,
pickleball?
I did actually have pickleball in gym class.
Nice.
I think I was pretty good. So
Do you remember growing up when you first started to think that you might like to be a pro footballer?
since I was really young, like I always dreamed of being a professional soccer player, but I didn't physically see a path to it until the summer after my first year university. So in 11th grade, COVID hit, and I didn't have any university offers, nothing. So then I went to my coach and was like, I need to play somewhere, or like this is it. And as an 18-year-old or as a 17-year-old kid, like that's not what you wanna hear. So my coach said, "Oh, I'm in Nova Scotia at Acadia University." Went there, and we I had fun, but we went 1-10. Like we were shocking.
Okay, that's
And then
less fun. Okay.
yeah, so then when I came back the summer after, I was playing in the summer with Futuro, and then I guess one of the Atletico scouts were there, saw me, and so it really came out of the blue for me, like the opportunity to go pro, and yeah, it was not foreseen.
So, like being seen by this guys, was that kind of like a right place, right time? Like you decided to show up to the right practice or
Yeah, so I guess Futuro is part of like the Atletico's Powered by program, so like they're like partnered, I guess. So
yeah.
they're in communication, and I guess they came to one of the games, and then they saw me, and they started inviting me out to a couple training sessions. Um, I'm not gonna lie, at first, like when you first enter like the pro environment, you're like, wow, like I am terrible, because everyone's just faster, their decisions are faster, stronger. So it's kind of hard, but um, I'm still here now, so. I guess I was growing slowly but surely, and yeah, now we're up to speed.
You're doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that sounds like you were kind of there at the start of the development program. And it sounds like it was pretty intimidating, like at least at the start. As like time went on, just like what was it like being a part of that? Like what was I know it's still fairly new and it's still evolving, but yeah, like what was the experience like for you being a part of that?
Um, it was amazing. Obviously, the fact that I'm from Ottawa, being able to like represent um the team from Ottawa is amazing. You know, like my parents are always like here to watch games, and all my friends are here, old coaches, old teammates, you know, so it's just like it fills me with a bunch of pride just being able to play for the team in Ottawa.
So like you played with Futuro since you were 11 or like U11. And I've noticed that Futuro has like they've got a pretty good track record of players coming out of there and having some success as pros. Could you talk a bit about like their program and like were there any coaches that had a big hand in helping you get to where you are today?
Yeah, so I definitely give most of the credit to Sanjeev Parmar and Jed Davies. I feel like so when I first joined Futuro, I was just strictly an athlete. Like I was just fast. I had no touch. I had no vision, and I feel like Sanj really helped me mold into the player I am today technically. And then Jed Davies was more the tactical side of the game. Showed me like pass it, like just I guess yeah, the whole tactical side was Jed, I'd say.
So you played like a year of U Sports at Acadia, and then you transferred to Carleton, but you chose to turn pro with Atletico before actually playing with the Ravens. Um, was deciding to go that route, was that a hard decision for you? Um, and like, did you talk with anyone about it before you signed?
Yeah, so that was actually a very hard decision for me because when I signed so I signed at the start of the year a U Sports, and my plan initially was to go back to Acadia. But yeah, so I signed at the start of the year to a U Sports contract, and I did the whole year, and then at the end of where it should have stopped, which is like August, like mid or beginning August,
Hmm.
um, they were they asked me to stay till the end of the season. And if I stay at that point, I hadn't touched pitch, I hadn't done anything, so I was taking a risk of do I stay here with a chance that I won't play, and or do I go back to Acadia or go back to university and I could play a full season of U Sports. But then I don't know if I'll still have this bridge here. So I took a risk, and it paid off because I extended with Atletico and I was able to play, and I did well in one of the games, and at the end of the season they offered me a contract. So it worked out for the best.
Nice. When you signed that extension to stay with Ottawa instead of going back to Acadia, um, like I think I was a bit surprised just because like you know better than me what's right for you. In my mind, I thought, oh well, playing a whole season of U Sports, that's got to be better than not knowing how many pro minutes you're gonna get. Like looking back, was just being in the pro environment, was that better maybe for your development than um like playing, but like in a lesser caliber league, I'll say.
Yeah, definitely. I think like just being in that environment around pros, it's just like it elevates your game. Like just the speed of the game is faster, so I have to think faster. I need to make decisions faster. Um, I need to. I feel like when you play to a higher standard, like you raise yourself up, you know? So like when you play with players who are better than you, you get up to that level. And like I feel like if you're here and you're like the caliber you're with is lower, you tend to drop. So I thought being with the in the pro environment would help me as a player, and it has. So I have no regrets.
Nice. Has there been anything that has surprised you about turning pro or been like an interesting lesson for you?
Um, I say the mental side of the game. So this year especially, I'm behind two amazing center backs, and just like sometimes like like I feel like I deserve a shot, and like it wasn't coming, but it was just mentally like I was weak, I'd say. Like I had to I had to learn how to at at all times keep my highest standard, and there was times at the start of the season where that would drop, and it's all mental. So just the mental side of the game, I really came this year.
Is there anything that you found has been helpful to um I don't know, just to like strengthen yourself mentally, just kind of get your brain more tuned the way that you want to?
I say just like always stay positive, because I was in a place where realistically, like I'm still young, I still have a lot to learn, and just approaching everything in an open mindset, in like in a positive way. Like if I make a bad pass, like positive self-talk, and just try to stay positive.
For anyone listening, if I'm not sure if you can hear it, but my daughter is singing in the background, so that's what's happening there. Okay, so you've given me a good chunk of your time. I really appreciate it. I just have a few quick questions for you, if you don't mind, before I
Sure.
let you go. What's your favorite sport besides soccer?
I'd probably say basketball.
What is the best soccer field to play on in Ottawa?
Turf wise, I'd say Julian de Guzman,
Okay,
but anytime after 5 p.m., Julian de Guzman is a death trap with mosquitoes.
I've heard
So
that.
yeah, it's in the middle of a forest, so you're gonna get eaten alive.
Okay. Who is the best player that you've ever just been on the same field as? Like you could have played with them, played against them, whatever.
Alberto Zapater. Yeah,
It's a good
Zappa's a
answer.
legend.
Okay. Who is your favorite Canadian national team player, either men's or women's side?
Um, Joe David, because he's from Ottawa.
Have you met him?
Yeah, in the off season, he came out a couple of times, and we train with some of the Ottawa players.
What do you notice like first playing with him or like playing against him?
Like there was times when like he wasn't really trying, but when he switches on, you just see his like he's actually a lot faster than I thought he was.
What is your favorite league to watch?
Uh, I'd say the Prem.
Okay. You have a
It's
favorite
just
team?
Liverpool.
Okay, okay. What's your go-to pregame meal?
Um, Probably basic rice and chicken.
What is your favorite meal that your mom makes?
Thinking of a few.
Mom's a good
Um,
cook.
Very good cook. They're both good cook, both my parents. I'd say oxtail.
Okay. And what about
Yeah,
your dad if he's a good cook?
jerk chicken. He
Okay.
makes amazing jerk chicken.
Um, what is your favorite restaurant in Ottawa?
Probably Boston Pizza in Orleans, because it's close to my friend's house, and we just go all the time.
Right on. What's the better halftime snack? Oranges or watermelon?
Say watermelon.
Good call. If you're looking for like, would you prefer to eat something spicy or sweet?
Sweet.
What's the last movie you watched? Or TV show, if that's easier.
TV show, yeah, TV show with my mom. We're watching House of Dragons right now.
Nice. What is a fact about you or like an interest of yours that most people might not know about you?
Um, I like to cook.
Okay, well, what's your go-to meal then?
Um,
Like if you want to show
probably
off.
probably wings. Yeah. Pretty
Okay,
basic, but like usually when I cook, like I'll just see something on Instagram and like I'll just recreate it. So my dad mostly Jamaican food, my mom Brazilian food, and like me, I'll just experiment with everything.
just Instagram cook. Are your wings like you go saucy or like dry spice?
So my dad likes dry spice, so I'll make like a batch of dry spice and
Yeah,
then I'll make a saucy one too.
right on. Okay, well, here you've given me time out of your day for me to interview you. And I really sincerely appreciate it. My last question now is if you could interview one athlete in the world, who would it be? Pick their
Neymar.
brain. Neymar. Okay, good call. You know what you would ask him first?
I have no clue. I have no clue, but I just want to interview him. I don't know what I'd say, what I'd ask him, but
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and best of luck with the rest of the season.
thank you. I appreciate you for having me.